Last Chance Saloon is the perfect place for all adults, old and young, to come and enjoy themselves. Whether it be by drinking and spending time with friends, playing some games of pool, or dropping some stool, the Last Chance Saloon is the place for total comfort and entertainment for everyone around. But there's one group of people that stands out amongst the rest, the Broke Boys. This is the Broke Boys Podcast.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I invited Ben over to my place today. John, Jacob, thank you for showing up.
Hello! What's up?
What I wanted to bring up, at least for today, was actually an incident at a bar downtown South Bend called McCormick's. So, we'll have your guys' opinions on this in a second. So,
alright.
This is a pretty funny story. Try to, not laugh too hard. It's going to be pretty
We'll
interesting.
try not to.
I go in.
We'll let you cook.
Make it the laugh sound right.
Sure, get your laugh out.
I gotta try the food at the end after you're done cooking, you know?
Alright, so
Stir the stew right now.
So-
Stir the stew.
I walk in, I go there all the time. We used to play pool, and there's this guy, his name's Travis.
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. What bar did you say?
McCormick's.
Okay, I'm sorry.
McCormick's.
So downtown South Bend. So I go in, and there's this guy. His name's Travis. He's a really big gay black dude, right? And the reason I bring this up is because he walked up to me and was like, "Hey, why don't you talk to no girls?" I'm like, "Well, it's not. I'm just here to get drunk, talk to people, whatever. Not really."
Wait. Before you continue, when you talk to him, when you said he's big, were you having this conversation looking up a little bit, or was
Looking
it
up a little bit, and he had a pudge. He was pudgy, big pudgy.
Okay, so
Big
little
pudgy
space in the
boy.
combo.
Yeah, so it was like, hey, and I was like, whatever. His name was Travis. So he comes up to me and he's like, if you don't talk to no girls, I'm gonna take you home, boy. And I was like, whoa. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, right, fuck you, watch this. So I go up to the most pretty girl in the fucking bar, and I was just like, hey, how's your night going? Would you like to buy you a drink? I see you're with your friends. Are you here with anybody? And she's like, no, actually, let's, go one-on-one at the bar. So we're at the bar.
How loud is this bar that you were able to talk to her so clearly?
McCormick's isn't loud. It's like a dive bar, but they had really loud music. It's not like, some of the bars we went to.
What was that fucking one? Finny's?
Yeah.
We went to
That was a really loud bar.
That was a
very loud one.
Continuing on, so
Alright.
I'm talking with this girl for about 3 hours till close, right?
Holy shit.
And everything's going good. She's hitting on me, I'm hitting on her. She really likes me, I really like her. Everything's going great. And she's really pretty, and I really liked her. So I was like, alright, cool. So we go out, and it's like, well, closing time, and I offer to buy her dinner. And she's like, it's whatever, no big deal. And I was like, whatever. So gay black guy comes back, Travis, right? He's like, hey, we're all going to this place called My Place, or that place in Mishawaka. They're open till 3 or 4 or something. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool. The party don't stop around there, huh? So she's like, yeah, let's all go. So we go there, and once again, we're still talking. Everything's going good, and we see a drunk dude, really drunk dude, about to get into his car. He can't even fucking walk. And I'm like, bro, you are too drunk. Let me fucking drive you home or something.
And this is a completely different guy?
Completely random guy.
Are you with Travis at this point, or is he just
He's still in the bar. I don't know what. Travis is, he's still existing.
This is just random dude that you saw.
It's just a random, really drunk guy. Me, the girl I was talking about, and her cousin. So the girl goes off to take a phone call. So I'm arguing with this drunk dude. He's threatening to beat the shit out of me. I'm like, calm the fuck down. You're drunk. I'm letting it slide. I need to get you home, or you're gonna kill yourself and someone else.
Better than me for that one. Shoot.
I was just like, no, because I knew what was gonna happen. If he got in that car, bro, if he would have gotten in that car, he would have killed someone else driving. I was like, shut the fuck up, stay in my fucking car, and drink that fucking bottle of water I gave you. And then I go up to the girl, I'm like, why are we fucking helping this dude? And she's on the phone, and she's like, babe, I'm sorry. I'm like, babe. I'm like, fucking fuck.
Damn.
4 hours of talking to this girl, and she had a fucking boyfriend. So I'm already really angry. I'm like, there's a drunk piece of shit in my fucking car. There's this fucking chick, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, why? Fucking why?
I think your problem is that you asked her if she was with somebody at the bar.
No, but even so, regardless, at any point, she could have been like, I have a boyfriend. any fucking point.
Yeah, but she didn't think to say that till like what, 4 hours in during a phone call.
Until I
with him?
caught her in a phone call with him.
Yeah, that's a bit different.
That's a-
I was like,
that's a real big
so
catch-22.
I asked her, I'm like, okay, let me ask why. She's like, well, you're so young, you're good looking, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, thank you, flattery, cool. Is he good to you? Is he nice to you? She's like, yeah, he's perfect, I love him. And I'm like, holy fuck, what's wrong with this chick?
What? So wait, she claims that her boyfriend is perfect, but yet she's going out to bars and flirting with other guys like you?
Not just flirting, we kissed.
You actually kissed
Yes,
her!
I didn't know. I was
Dude,
like,
God
oh,
knows
dude.
where those lips could have been, man!
I would kiss the turtles.
So anyways, like I said, and I texted Gabe Black through Travis. I was like, listen, don't ever try to convince me to talk to no girl again. I'm like, who all knew this girl was fucking taken? Because, like, I went up to her cousin in my car also, and I was like, did you know she had a boyfriend? And she's like, I haven't seen her in years. I'm like, you lying bitch. You fucking do that shit. I didn't say that. I didn't say it out loud, but in my mind, I'm like, lying bitch. So now I'm really mad. I'm like, this bitch trying to get me set up. This dude's drunk as shit in my fucking car. He's pissing me off. And so I drove him
I
home.
would have just called an Uber for that dude.
I was not about to waste money. So I drove him home, and he left his wallet in my car. Now, the next day, I took his ID, and this is where I was like a really good person. I found his name, found his Facebook, texted the person, hey, I found your wallet. I kept the $40 I found. For inconvenience, his threatened to beat the shit out of me, all that crazy bullshit.
I mean, all in all, it might have been cheaper than Uber.
And it was probably cheaper than Uber,
Wait,
and it
who
was more
threatened to
safe.
beat you, though?
The drunk guy who I was driving home forcefully. Because
He threatened to beat you even though you were taking him home.
he was drunk, I let it slide, and in return, I found a wallet and was like, well, there's $40 in here, I'll keep the money. I didn't touch his cards, I didn't touch anything else. It's like, this is compensation. Whatever.
Damn.
He left it in my
Nate's
car.
a pimp, dude. You a pimp.
He kept the wallet. So anyways, I tell Olga, I'm like, alright, I'm probably never going to talk to you again. Probably don't ever want to. And she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lead you on. I'm like, yes, the fuck you fucking did. You know damn well you wanted
said that to her?
She said that to me.
No.
I didn't say that. It's just,
Oh.
I say most of the stuff in my mind.
Oh.
I try not to like speak out loud because like there's a lot of fucks in my mind. Like I say fuck a lot in my head. I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck? Why the
really
fuck? How the
curse.
fuck?
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
You really want to curse this bitch out, so you fucking dirty slut.
I didn't say no. I was just like, damn. And I'm not even gonna lie. At this point, I was like, I don't even give a fuck if a boyfriend. You know, let's get to it. You started this.
Like, let's do the dirty
I was like,
bitch.
whatever.
You know what?
You-
Don't blame you.
you were
know?
trying to-
I was like, you know what?
It's a game.
I'm just gonna pretend I still didn't know. I was like,
You were trying to fuck that?
I guess, why not? Whatever. So that's how my last Thursday night went. This was after I went to the beach. I went to the beach, got home, and went to performance. And yeah, so it was a pretty cool day. So let's talk about that new Star Wars show.
Oh,
Star Wars show? What's it called?
damn.
It's called The Acolyte.
You should have segued that. Been like, speaking of, since we're on the subjects of pieces of shit.
Or gay.
Speak-
Or
Star
gay.
On the subject of stupid bitches.
Stupid bitches, gay, whatever. I mean,
Speaking of cum whores.
Damn.
that has nothing to do with it.
No,
John,
I'm
you
just
don't even
kidding.
watch Star Wars, so he has no opinion on it. Ignore this guy.
Yeah,
So-
wow, what the fuck, man?
No, but if you don't know anything
No, I
about
get
Star
it.
Wars,
Say
you
the
know,
same thing.
we're just bringing this up so people listen and like, interesting, cool.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people already have the feelings and things I'm going to say about this. All right, I'm going to bring up one thing. So, I was able to defend it for about 2 episodes, right? And the plot's basically there's these 2 twins, and they're set a long time before some of the movies were set. They're like 100 years. And there are these 2 twins. One's like a light side.
Are they boy or girl?
They're girl twins. And they're
Okay.
played by the same actress. So one's like a Sith in training, and then the other one's like was a Jedi, but then decided to not be a Jedi. So later on, you find out that they're part of the Night Sisters, which is from the Clone Wars cartoon, right? And that they were actually born from the Force by lesbian space witches.
What?
You know,
Which
it
is-
wouldn't be my first guess.
No, that was really interesting, and I guess people's whole thing is like it's like on one hand it's like I don't want ethnical space lesbian force babies, and it's like I mean that's kind of okay, like It's just when I watch Star Wars, I don't want to see like things like I just want to see lightsabers in action and stuff. That's what Star Wars was. When you watch like the original movies, it was like here's some lightsabers, here's like a hero, he does crazy cool stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No.
But now it's like there's no actual decent story. There's not even really good lightsaber fights. The show itself doesn't look that good. They're taking old characters and not making them as good.
That's crazy. They really went with like, you guys are so gay that you didn't even come out of a dick. You know what? You are blown by the magics of the wind.
And you know what? It also invalidates other things in the story, like how Anakin was born, because he was also a fucking he was born of the Force too.
But wasn't that more like a third factor, like in his birth,
like he was
instead
like the
of
chosen
like a
one,
direct like?
But everything they've been doing has been like, well, fuck Anakin Skywalker. We're gonna make these other characters. We want, and there's nothing wrong with girl power because, fun fact, one of my favorite video games is Horizon Zero Dawn. That's a great fucking game. I love that game. Like, and Ayla it's not about the woman, it's about the execution. And the execution, I can understand that.
I fucking despise sci-fi shit.
That's fair. That's fair.
I personally, when it comes to sci-fi, I think if it's done right, at least to my personal taste with sci-fi related content, I can dig it. But if it's just like the run-of-the-mill shit where it's basically a sense of where you've seen it, you've been there, you've done that before, then I just don't really care for it that much. But I like sci-fi stuff. I think if it's done right...
What's a sci-fi that you think, like, they killed it? Like, their execution, like, concepts, like, this was it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. The way they executed it and everything.
One that I think is really good, not a lot of people watch this one, Star Trek The Next Generation. They did have a couple moments where it was a little bit like, whoa, that's, interesting. They had basically these creatures called the Ferengi. And people were like, are those supposed to be kind of like Jews? At first. And then they had an episode where they went up, like, it was, they had like a piece of gold. And one of them was like, is that gold? And then one of them walked up and was like, it smells like gold. And then one of the characters was like, it is gold. And I was like, well, that's racist.
Low on the nose there.
Wow. And that's why the show almost got canceled, because like when it first came out, it had racist moments, which is really interesting because they had big noses too. Actually, but
that's the most
did they have a
way you could
special
ask
symbol
that.
they were wearing around their necks?
I don't remember. It's been a long time, and I just saw like an interview about it. But when the show first came out, let's rewind. So when the first 6 movies came out, the point of the 6 movies was, to fight against racism. There was a character who was a black lady. She wanted to leave the series, actually, the original 6 movies. And they were like, no, we want you to stay in these because civil rights and women's rights. And she was like, fine. So I don't remember the character's name or the lady, but I just remember it was a black lady. She was a really cool lady. And that was what the original 6 movies were kind of like. Look at this, we have like an actual like, Star Trek was one of the first like series ever to actually do diversity, and they did it fucking right too. And it's crazy. It's like like I look at Disney and I'm like, dude, this like, how did y'all like fuck this up?
Well, yeah, I feel like Disney's really lacking the subtlety, and they're much more like posturing. It's like if they know their product's not gonna cook, I bet they add in a little bit of a appeal to it.
Whatever you want, honestly. I haven't heard much from you, so say something.
That's what I would do if I was a director.
Keep me like that. That hurt. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's think. I had a pretty shitty Walmart experience I had like a week or so ago.
Yeah, you told us about this. Tell us about your Walmart experience.
Well, it's when I went to go get the PSVR 2, and more or less it's just shitting on Walmart's fucking pricing compared to in-store. Like, their online prices can be different from in-store, which is stupid.
Do they have the price match, or are they just like, nah, you
No,
can't?
they did.
They said,
They literally told me
just said it just like
They
that.
literally told me straight to my face, like, no, we don't do price match. Right? I didn't even know they do that type of shit, but I went to go pick it up because I was like, you know what? I want to make a big purchase. I want a sort of little early birthday gift for myself. I want the PSVR 2. So I went to go get it, and it was on sale for $100 off its original price because I'm not paying more than the fucking console itself, which is stupid.
Matter of fact, when it first released, wasn't the PSVR 2 sold at like $550?
That's what I'm saying. It was $450, which is $50 less than the PS5 itself. But
And that's the online price, right?
that was the online price that they had set. But and then there was even a little text that said price when bought online. I didn't read that. I just thought. I just thought, okay, they have it in store on sale. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go get it. I went to go get it. The dude picked it out of there, and he rang it up. I was like, that price is a little off. He says, what are you talking about? I says, you guys have it online for $450. It was like $580 or something, you know. And I was like, whoa, that. And then went to go check out the price. I'm like, it said over there $450. It was actually the PS5. It was in the wrong spot, of course.
As Walmart does.
But the way the fucking, one of the dudes that was over there handled it fine. He gave me a full explanation of it. But this one dude was I gotta say, he came off condescending and like a dick. I was like, because he fucking, what he did was, he was just like, nah, that's not the actual price. So that's the online price. You don't get that in the store, you know. And he fucking said to this dude right next to me, he says, yeah, I'm gonna clock out, I'm out of here. And just fucking walked off. I was like, what a fucking dick.
You ruined
What a way to end your shift, just telling off a customer being all fucking...
Like, beating my shift ends in 5 minutes.
Being a fucking jerk about it.
I know, that really is.
But the whole dude gave me a whole explanation that, like, Walmart's online prices aren't always the same as in-store because they're kind of separate from online and in-store.
But that's so weird.
It's so stupid, though, because it's like, the whole reason of me coming in to the store to get it right there is that way it's not an inconvenience for you to purchase it online. Then you guys got to get it all ready. Then you come out with it. For me, in the parking lot, it's like, I'm here. The price is right there. Give me for what I want. You know?
Yeah, so that's...
The other thing, and this is something I learned from the hotel, right? So, it's location, right? So, online is just a broad, like, range of prices, right?
Yeah, they might have some overstock,
Because-
set somewhere that they can ship it out to anywhere.
And, like, in big cities, things are more expensive. So, like, a VR in South Bend, well, no one really fucking lives around here, but 2 hours in Chicago, fucking a VR is probably even more out there.
It's probably like 600 over
Yeah,
there.
no, yeah. So, like, that's probably why they can't, you know, it's like you can pull up a Walmart, like, Google thing, like, yeah, it says 400. Yeah, fucking some random buttfuck place in Alabama. We're in South Bend, bitch. Paying whatever we want out here.
Here's what's the funny thing though is that you can either I could have bought it and had it delivered, or I could have just bought it and picked it up at the same fucking store that I went to.
You know, I do feel you.
It didn't
on
make
that,
any
though.
sense. I'm like, I'm here, the price is there. What?
That's so weird too that you're basically being punished for doing business in
here's the thing
store.
is that on that same day, I went online, I bought it online for that price, and then it was ready for me to pick up tomorrow. I'm like, why didn't you just give it to me right there? It didn't make any sense.
I know, that's so fucking stupid. And you know what? I actually had a similar experience with a gun shop that I went to a while ago. Actually, I went there just today. Actually, yeah, for my rifle. As a matter of fact, I went there recently. A couple weeks ago, I bought myself. For those who are into guns, I got an AR-15, and I got like a 16-inch barrel that has like a pinned front sight base. And for those who don't know what that is, basically it's a block of metal that's shaped to be a front sight, but it also operates as a gas wad to contain and circulate the gas to cycle the rounds. So it's like a 2-in-1 kind of deal, basically. It's a 2-in-1 system. So anyways, I bought this barrel for like $410 fucking dollars from a company called Day on Defense. And it's a 16-inch barrel that's already got a pinned front sight base. So before I bought this though, I already bought separate from that. I bought like a separate front sight base that needed holes to be drilled out for the taper pins to be pinned onto the side of the barrel. And
What are you talking about?
Oh, so you had to do a whole bunch of modifications to get
yes,
that
but
going.
yeah, dude, honest to God, I think my rifle to this day, it's probably the most expensive firearm that I've invested the most money into out of any other gun that I've owned. Like my Beretta, I've invested probably from the gun itself to the attachments I bought was probably like $900,000. My rifle, on the other hand, from the rifle to the attachments I bought, probably well over $3,000 at this point.
I bet at the range though, that's gonna be fire.
Oh, dude, it's.
I see what you did there.
Oh yeah, that's fucking sick, man. Fuck
Hey,
yeah.
puns
Hey.
for the win.
But anyways, yeah. So before I bought this front sight base that had to be drilled up by a gunsmith, and even stated on Bravo Company's website, the company I bought this from, that it had to be purchased, or no, it not purchased, but it had to basically have holes drilled out for the taper pins, and it had to be done by a qualified gunsmith. And because I don't have the tools, nor do I have the expertise for it, I went to this gun shop called Belcher's Guns and Gunsmithing. I went there, and you would think, considering that this is a gun shop, even though it's a small gun shop, it's a gun shop nonetheless, and they have like professional gunsmiths that have been working there for like 15, 20, maybe even 30 fucking years that have been working there. However long they've been working there. You would think they would have the tools, they have the expertise, but you would also think they would have the tools to drill it out. So when I went there, and I even asked the guy if he could do it, instantly he said, no, I can't do that. And he gave me like the whole spiel as to the reason why is because, one, a lot of gunsmiths apparently don't like fucking with them nowadays, because otherwise, if they try to basically pin that onto the barrel and everything, or if they don't have what's called a jig, which is basically like a frame, it's like a reference frame for whatever it is you're trying to add on to whatever kind of gun it is you're trying to add an attachment onto.
So if your model doesn't like have that frame or has an attachment to get that frame, you can't really. They will just deny you at that point.
Yeah, basically they'll just outright deny you, and that's what they did with me, because he said, one, they don't have the tools for it, and two, they don't have the jig for it, and also three was because he doesn't really want to mess with it, because apparently, I guess a lot of people don't really do it nowadays with AR-15 barrels, I guess. But because the last time I was there, he even said, you know, you're actually the only customer from the last one from about 2 or 3 years ago who also called in about the same thing, and outright told him, unless you get what's called like a clamp-on front sight base, which I guess is easier to drill holes out of compared to like a solid block of metal front sight base, then yeah, he basically said, no, we can't do it. Unless it's a clamp-on, or unless you buy a barrel that already has it pinned on by the manufacturer outright, we can't work on this for you, because we could also be liable for damaging your rifle, and we don't want to be liable for that. Which I understand that. I get that. I can definitely understand. You don't want it to possibly damage a customer's product, because also it could give you a bad rep. I understand that. But at the same time, you would think as a gunsmith shop that's got like 10 or so years of experience, you would think you would have the tools to fucking do the job and shit.
It's your fucking job as a gun shop to do that shit. You're damn right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I
dude.
mean, if you're not good at it, get good at it.
Well, it's not. He even said like he could do it with a clamp on. So I'm thinking, okay, what the fuck difference does it make with like a clamp on and a regular front sight base? It's like it's practically the same fucking thing. Like, what's the difference? Is it easier to drill the holes for a clamp on for the taper pins compared to just like a front sight base that's just a solid block of metal? Like, how hard is it to fucking do? And like,
Apparently too hard.
Some people just, I think it's just their way of saying like,
we
you
could
know,
do
it's
we
too-
could do it, but
it's a little too much of a precise work, and we don't.
Which he did
we're
even
too lazy to do that.
he did even tell me that too. He wasn't saying. I don't know. He
mean,
was
maybe,
basically.
maybe it was just like the liability aspect.
I
of it.
think that was
He's
mainly
just
the
like,
cause of it. As to
you
why.
know, I can't guarantee it. I could do it, but
I
just
could do
couldn't
it, but also
guarantee
if I damage your rifle, I could be
It's
liable
more
for it.
like, I
He's
could.
just
I
like,
could,
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot of work.
yeah, basically, yeah, that was
Hey.
the whole reason why. Which I already bought the barrel from Daniel Defense. It already has a front sight base already pinned on there. which was like $400 fucking dollars. I paid for this fucking barrel, but I'm like, whatever. I've already invested so much into this rifle. This is the last major investment. I just want to get this final modification done and over with. And I already dropped it off today. And I even asked the guy, like, hey, can you guys swap out the barrel and the handgun for this and shit? No, he actually said yes.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
shit.
Because when the last time I was there before I came there today, he said on June 22nd I came there. He said, look, he said if you already buy a barrel that's got a front side base already pinned on there, I can simply just swap it out for you. But I cannot drill out the holes for it or anything because I don't have the tools, I don't have a jig, and I do have the expertise to do it, but I don't want to be liable for it. That was basically the whole fucking situation. So, yeah, it was.
You know how ignorant I am on the subject matter? I didn't even know that there were like gunsmiths that like there were certain modifications that are so extreme or precise that like they need to be there to do it.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like there are even websites that if you look online on Google, you can find other gunsmiths in like different parts of the U.S. that can do it for you. But they charge like an exorbitant rate. I'm talking like fucking $200 to $300 goddamn dollars just to modify a front side base to draw out the holes for the taper pins, to pin it onto the barrel of your upper receiver and everything. And I'm thinking, that much? You wanna know the estimate that I got when I went there today? $35. That was the estimate. Granted, that's not the final price. It's an estimate, but even then, still, other websites were charging like $200 to $300.
I really couldn't imagine it being any more like. Not a huge amount more than $35, but if it was, a little more than $35, I wouldn't even give a shit.
No, it's like if it's under $100 just to simply swap out the barrel and everything with the barrel that I bought, like cool, that's completely fine. But to send like, say my barrel or my upper to like a different gunsmith in a different part of the U.S. that I don't fucking know anything about, and it costs like $200 to $300, and I even read a review from one website saying like, oh yeah, this wasn't done properly. This was more or less like a half-assed job that wasn't done right. And this was $200 to $300. I'm thinking, fuck. If I was that stupid, which, granted, something's...
Always read the reviews.
Yeah.
Reviews, especially in big cities.
Yes.
Especially.
Yes.
I almost had this issue. When I went to New York. I'm sorry I interrupted you, by the way.
No, you didn't interrupt me.
No, you're good.
I was just making a comment.
I was in New York, and they had anime store. I had so many anime figures. And that's where I bought that One Piece one sitting over there. Take a picture of that and show it for people to see what it looks like. One of the coolest parts of my collection. So, when I get there, like it's weird. Like, they were like, you can't take pictures. You're not allowed to take pictures. I'm like, what? Really? Why not?
What?
Like they had a no picture policy. They didn't want none of their stuff being advertised.
Wait,
Now, were there signs that were up about this?
There were signs, and like anybody who like tried to pull their phone out, they're like, no, put that shit away. I'm like, whoa. And it was run by Middle Eastern. I don't want to be wrong. I think they were somewhere from the Middle East. They had
there's a lot of places.
Yeah,
I wouldn't guess if I were you.
Somewhere from the Middle East. And they weren't bad people, but I get there.
But that's so weird though, because it's an anime store, and
Yeah,
you have like
and
a
they had the
picture
hugest,
policy.
like the coolest anime stuff in the world. I was about to send you and everybody else. I was like, this place is so amazing. So, like, I asked them, hey, how much are the figures? They gave me some retarded prices. I was like, what the fuck?
Like what, $200 to $300?
Like a lot. But I had a lot of money on me at the time, so I was like, And I asked him, I was like, well, if I buy more, could you give me a discount? And I was like, yeah, I got you. Because, I have anime tattoos. The guy could probably figure out, I know what I'm looking at. So.
Yeah, he doesn't want to turn away a sale.
Well, he knows that, and he also knows I can't just fucking scam the shit out of this guy because, whatever. So, but I'm also a tourist in New York, so he's probably like,
Yeah, I can get him.
So, here's the thing. I leave the shop, and as I leave, I made a deal with the guy. I'm like, hey, listen, we're walking around, we're doing some stuff today. Can I buy these and come back tomorrow and pick them up? And the guy was like, yeah, sure. So we get to the hotel, I go back, and I look on their website. It said they were closed that day. So I was panicking. I'm like, bro, I just dropped a bunch of money on these figures. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
I'm not going to state that. But It was quite a bit, and I was really frustrated. I'm like, yo, that fucking dude lied to me. Holy
was
shit.
saying-
He got my ass. And then I see on the reviews, they have like 1,000 reviews. Most of them were like 1 or 2 stars. So I was like, oh, fuck. So then I read the comments, and they're like, yeah, the guy told me a price, and then as I put my card in, he typed in a different price higher up.
Wow,
Oh, hell
you
no,
fucking
that's-
scam.
that's illegal.
That's highly illegal, dude. You can't fucking do
And
that.
it was just reviews like that. I was like, yo. I
And
was-
were these recent
You gotta
reviews?
drop the name of this.
all of them. All like
Drop the
I-
name of this store.
I don't even remember what it was. It was, but I was like panicking. I'm like, oh fuck.
Well, do you have
oh,
the
fuck.
do you have the history on your phone?
I could find it. I'll
Okay.
figure it out later.
Okay, we're gonna have to.
We'll bring this up again next time. But no, so I was like freaking out, and I'm like, and Austin's like, you don't gotta worry about the reviews. I'm like, what do you mean I don't gotta worry about the reviews? Fuck that! Yes I do. And he's like, why didn't you look at them when you were there? And I'm like, because it didn't cross my mind. I saw anime and got excited. All right, I'm sorry. And that's fair, right?
Right.
So,
yeah.
like, I was like, Austin, you're the one who pointed this out to me and brought me in.
I felt my pants to get a little tighter, and I was like, I gotta go in. I gotta see these anime.
Yeah, it's not like I walk into Kohl's and I'm like, you know what? Before I buy anything, let me read the reviews.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or like
like-
you go into Walmart
So-
or something like that. Like, you know what? Let me read the reviews about Walmart and see what the pricing is over here.
So I didn't get scammed too bad. I paid like an extra $100, but that's cool because I'd rather get it for a little bit more money right then and there from New York and then come all the way back here. Like, I was like, Like, yeah, I paid a little bit more money if I would have bought them online, but I get them right then and there. They're from New York. They look really cool. I don't gotta wait.
Experience,
Fine.
souvenirs.
Yeah, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's fine. I wasn't too mad about
So what
that.
did you end up doing?
We ended up going back the next day, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, awesome. It says close. Fuck. Then I get there, and like, he gave me a receipt, and he wrote down on the back of the receipt my name and what I had. And they were actually, I don't know if they just got review bombed. I don't know like what, but apparently their website was never updated, so it was like really old.
Wait,
So,
did it have any security at all?
I don't know.
Because that is important to check. Because if you make an online purchase on a website that has no security,
It wasn't an
you're
online.
It wasn't.
It
Oh,
was at the store.
He
Oh,
left the
okay.
money
I read
at
off
the
on
store.
those.
But does it? Wait, it has a website though?
Yeah,
Does
it had a website. That's why I looked up the reviews and all that.
Oh.
I didn't buy it online, so I go back
Okay.
and I asked the guy, I'm like, yo, it said you guys were closed. What's up with that? You guys, he's like, oh no, website doesn't update or something like that. That's old or something. I'm like, okay, cool. I hope these reviews are also like that too. Because holy freak.
Like these are reviews from like 2009.
I didn't look at
2010.
but I just saw so many and I was like, bro. And like, it just like, oh man. But,
I don't even know. Anytime you go to like a new place and you check out a new store, definitely look at the reviews.
not really a new store specifically, a local.
Well, no, I mean like
Locally owned.
a store you've never been to before.
Yeah, whether it's international or locally
Generally,
owned.
you can trust Walmarts and things like that.
Yeah.
It's when there's like, I don't know, like a local farmer's market. Like, you might go in there like, okay, this is a farmer's market. It's just such a common name. And then you go in there and they sell fucking, some fucked up shit that you don't buy, right?
Right.
Yeah, like the meat's not as good as it should be, or maybe
Yeah.
the fruit's out longer than it should be.
Or they just see you and
Or
they're
maybe
like,
they charge exorbitant prices for bad products.
or they just see you and they're like, that guy's not from around here.
Yep, let's
They
take
can
charge
charge
of
like,
it.
you know,
that one time.
Like, it's such a common thing. So, for those listening to this, be careful when you buy shit in big cities, especially big cities. That means Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, like a million or more people. But we'll get more on that on a different podcast because, yeah, no, like that's a whole different subject. We're running out of time actually. But while Ben's here, there was something I wanted to bring up. If we're bringing up your emulation stuff, I want you to talk about that a little bit. 'cause-
Well,
yeah,
it's a bit random. I've been dabbling in it. For anybody who's aware of emulation, it's basically there's emulators that you can have and they're legal to own, and they're basically game consoles. So like there's an emulator on even the app stores like Google Play, like say for instance, let's say RetroArch. It emulates, it's in the App Store, it's called RetroArch. It emulates 64 games, Super Nintendo, anything before that, handhelds like DS, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, all that fun jazz. But basically, I've been messing around with this one that's a PS2 one. It's called PCX2, and it is really cool. I've been using it on this unit called the Steam Deck, and they've been gaining a lot of popularity this past couple of years. But long story short, I love playing the emulators on it, and yeah, you can, as long as you have a legal copy of the game, you're able to play it and download the digital copy of it onto your computer or with the right hardware. And you can basically play like a Switch game that you really enjoy, but you can download the game onto your computer and you can play it on your computer.
I also want to bring up the modded games that we were playing.
Oh yeah, so for some of these games you can download, people online who are smarter than I am, they're able to, well, what the games are referred to online are ROMs, and they're able to make modded ROMs of old games. So like an old Pokemon game, they can make a new map in the game, they can add new Pokemon in, they can create custom things like make a game where you can fuse Pokemon together, and there's like a million different Pokemon that you can choose from.
Do they look
and
like abominations?
do stuff like that. Yeah.
They look like abominations.
There's one called Pokemon Fusions, and it's a mod, and it's really sick because it takes literally randomly generated sprites. So there's literally, I think it's over 10,000 different choices, almost up to like 50,000, I believe. And then if you download even more, like extra mod packs and stuff like that, you're able to get all the way up to the 100,000s. So it's something special. And I've been enjoying it, especially with how Nintendo's been on Pokemon games lately.
That's another topic for another day, actually. Yeah, we'll invite you another time because I actually would love to actually talk about Pokemon games, specifically Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, and the current state of affairs on that.
Next weekend we will be doing a comedy podcast. We'll be featuring the story about Buttercorn on the Cob.
Yes!
Buttercorn! The Buttercorn story, that's what we're going to start off. I'm doing this so our little friend Jacob here can loosen up. I know he really likes his comedy, but we're trying to, we're trying to work on both kind of serious and kind of comedy. So,
trying to do a blend of both, basically.
So that's what we'll be doing next week. Ben will be on. We'll probably do a couple podcasts. Don't worry, he's going to be a frequent guest on our shows.
Absolutely.
He'll be our co-host for the fun.
You know what I'm saying.
And that concludes tonight's podcast. See y'all next time.
Yes.